A very good morning, students. This is your teacher Neelam Helawat, and we'll continue our chapter, that is chapter number 10, Microbes in the Human Welfare. Dear students, in the previous module, we have spoken about the useful aspects of the microbes. And now we know that the microbes, they are used in the preparation of variety of products. They are used to prepare the beverages, they are used to prepare the antibiotics, and they are even used for our daily life food materials which we are eating in our daily lives, right? So today we'll be focusing on the next topic, that is the microbes in the sewage treatment. Dear students, we know that large quantities of wastewater is continuously being produced in the cities and the towns. And the major component of this wastewater is the human excreta. Okay. And the municipal wastewater is also called as sewage water. Right? We call it as sewage water because it contains large amounts of organic matter and the microbes. And many of these microbes, they are pathogenic. Means they can cause a wide variety of diseases if such a water is consumed by the humans. And most importantly, you must have heard about the Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan. Isn't it, dear students? Because on the banks of these two rivers, there are wide varieties of industries that have been established. And these industries, they are continuously releasing their water into the Ganga and the Yamuna rivers, which is polluting the water, and this water is even utilized by humans for their daily activities. And that is why the government has initiated the Ganga Action Plan and the Yamuna Action Plan. And these two projects, they have been initiated by the Ministry of Environment and Forest. And the main aim of these projects is to clean the water. Isn't it? The main aim is to clean the water or clean the water which is being released into these two rivers, that is polluting the water of these rivers. Dear students, if we talk about our history, the Ganga and Yamuna, both rivers are considered to be the religious rivers. Okay, so you can say the responsibility not only lies on the government but also lies on the individual person. That rather than wasting water, we should conserve water and we should stop polluting it. Right? So we talk about the microbial treatment of this water. Now this treatment basically comprises of two main treatments. One is called the primary treatment and second is called the secondary treatment. Okay, dear students, now primary treatment, it basically involves the primary settling tank in which filtration process will occur, where sludge will be separated. Then grit removal will be done, where the primary sludge will be removed. And after this, the water will be subject to the secondary treatment, where this will be subject to aeration tank, where BOD will be reduced by the flock. And inside the second aeration tank, the flock sedimentation will occur, the activated sludge will be produced, and with the help of the anaerobic bacteria in the digesters, the biogas will be produced, and whatever is left, that can be used as a manure, while the water will be released back into the streams and the rivers, and this water is free from all the germs. Right? So let's study this process in detail. Now, dear students, coming to the first treatment, which is called the primary treatment. Now this is a setup which is being used for the primary treatment. Now this treatment involves removal of particles. These particles may be small or large, right? So two processes will be involved in this particular portion. One is the filtration and second is called the sedimentation. Okay. So primary treatment involves using two techniques. First is filtration and second is sedimentation. Now see, your raw sewage, that is your wastewater, it will be put into the filtration tank, then it will go to the grit removal, and then it will go to the secondary treatment. Okay, so let's talk about the filtration and grit removal first. Now initially during the filtration process, your floating debris is removed by sequential filtration. See, there are 3 layers of filtration will occur. So the filtration will be occurring through the 3 layers. That is why we call it as sequential filtration. Okay, and during this filtration, your heavy particles will be removed. Okay, एक जाली है जिसके थ्रू आपका water pass होगा, raw sewage water will be passed through this, and you can say the waste materials, the heavy waste materials, they can be removed. Secondly, now the water will pass through the sedimentation tank, and this process is called removal, grit removal. Okay, we call it as grit removal, where soil and the small pebbles, they are removed by the sedimentation process. Okay. Now once this process allowed to sediment, means the water is allowed in this particular tank to settle down the you can say the effluents. The particles which are heavier, they will settle at the bottom of this tank, and they are called as primary sludge. Okay, the solid waste will settle at the bottom and it is called a primary sludge. While the lighter particles, they will keep floating on the surface and they are referred to as primary effluents. What do we refer them? They are referred to as a primary effluents. Okay, dear students. Now these primary effluents, they will be subjected to the secondary treatment. Okay, the secondary treatment is also called as the biological treatment. Okay, so the primary effluents, they will be subject to the primary treatment. Sorry, the secondary treatment. Primary effluents, they will go for the secondary treatment. Now in secondary treatment, dear students, the primary effluent is passed into large aeration tanks. तो सेकेंड ट्रीटमेंट में हम क्या करेंगे, जो हमारे प्राइमरी एफ्लुएंट्स हैं उनको हम लार्ज एरेशन टैंक्स में से पास करेंगे, एंड इन दीज लार्ज एरेशन टैंक्स द एयर इज पम्प्ड, राइट, एयर इज बीइंग कंटिन्यूसली पम्प्ड, यहाँ से एयर फ्लो की जा रही है इन टैंक्स में. ओके, राइट, एंड योर वेस्ट इज एजिटेटेड मैकेनिकली, और इस वेस्ट को एजिटेट किया जा रहा है. Now this allows the vigorous growth of useful microbes into flux. जब हम इन्हें ऐसा करते हैं, एयर को पास करते हैं, एयर मीन्स योर ऑक्सीजन इज बीइंग continuously flown into this aeration tanks and they are the waste is mechanically agitated. So इसकी वजह से क्या होगा, there will be tremendous growth of aerobic bacteria into flocks. Now this is a flock. Now flocks, basically they are the masses of bacteria associated with the fungal filaments, and they form the mash-like structures as you can see here. So this mash-like structures, they are called flocks, and they are formed once air is passed through the through the sedimentation, through the aeration tanks, and the waste is agitated mechanically. Now because of this flocks, the BOD is greatly reduced. Okay, this significantly will reduce the BOD. So BOD, what does a BOD means? BOD means biological oxygen demand. What is BOD, dear students? It is biological oxygen demand. Okay, it is biological oxygen demand. Now what do we understand from this term BOD? Biological oxygen demand. Now BOD means the amount of oxygen that is required to decompose 1 liter of water. Okay, it is the amount of oxygen required by the bacteria to decompose 1 liter of water. Okay, 1 लीटर पानी में जितना वेस्ट मौजूद है उसे फिनिश करने के लिए, उसे डिकम्पोज करने के लिए जितनी ऑक्सीजन चाहिए वो हमारा BOD होता है. So the amount of oxygen required by the bacteria to consume the organic matter present in 1 liter of water. Okay, and this sewage is treated till the BOD is reduced. और ये जो एरेशन टैंक का प्रोसीजर है हमारा, ये तब तक कंटिन्यू रहेगा जब तक उस पर्टिकुलर वाटर की BOD रिड्यूस नहीं हो जाती. ओके, सो वी विल कंटिन्यू the secondary treatment till the demand for BOD is reduced. Like the BOD of the drinking water that we drink is more than 0.5 milligram per liter. Okay, it is less than 0.5 milligram per liter. But the BOD of the sewage water, it can be even 600 milligrams per liter and even more than this. So we can say that BOD is a measure of the organic matter. जितना ज़्यादा ऑक्सीजन की डिमांड है इसका मतलब उतना ज़्यादा वेस्ट मैटर मौजूद है वाटर में, उतना पानी गंदा है. सो ग्रेटर इज द BOD, द मोर पोल्यूटेड द वाटर इज. जितना ज़्यादा हमें ऑक्सीजन की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी पानी साफ करने के लिए, उतना पानी गंदा है, एंड दैट इज़ वाई द लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ BOD इज रिक्वायर्ड. And once the BOD of the wastewater is reduced, then the effluent is then passed into the settling tank. ठीक है, जब BOD reduce हो जाती है तो हम उसको settling tank से pass करते हैं, where the bacterial flocks are allowed to sediment. Okay, so this is your bacterial flocks, they will be allowed to settle down. And this settled bacteria they are referred to as activated sludge. Okay, हमने दोबारा से एक टैंक से पास करते हैं जहाँ हम एक्टिवेटेड स्लज को सेपरेट आउट करते हैं, राइट. ओके, सो वी विल अलाउ these bacterial flocks, they will be allowed to sediment, and this sediment is called the activated sludge. And a small part of this activated sludge is again passed back into the aeration tank. तो इस activated sludge का कुछ पोर्शन जो है वो वापस से आप sludge tank से पास करेंगे, and this process will keep on going on. Okay, and the remaining part of the sludge, it will be passed through large tanks, and these tanks they are called anaerobic sludge digesters. So activated sludge हमने remove कर ली है और उसका कुछ पोर्शन हमने दोबारा से एरेशन टैंक से पास कर दिया है, जिससे कि वो वाटर को प्योरीफाई कर सके, जिससे कि वो वाटर की BOD को रिड्यूस कर सके, while rest of the part will be passed through the anaerobic sludge digesters. Now here what will happen, there is another kind of bacteria which are present, and these bacteria they are referred to as anaerobic bacteria. Now these bacteria they will digest, okay, these bacteria they will digest the sludge which is present here and will convert them into gases like methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. So these gases will be produced, and you can say combination of these gases is called as a biogas, and this biogas is used as a fuel in our houses. Okay, this biogas, it is used as a source of energy because it is highly inflammable. Okay, it is highly inflammable, right everyone? So this part we will be using, these gases we will be using for preparing our food, or it will be used as a fuel in our houses. While the water, the treated water, okay, this treated water, it will be again discharged back into the streams, like the water bodies, like rivers, streams and ponds, because from this water the various chemicals or the waste materials have been removed, right? And dear students, because of the urbanization, as the process of urbanization is going on, as the number of cities have increased in last few years, so the amount of sewage has also increased. This means as the population has increased, we are polluting large amount of water every day. Okay, we are polluting large amount of water. And we are continuously in need to use the microbial treatment of the sewage, right? But as we know, dear students, we are polluting the water more and more, but the number of sewage treatment plants has not increased enough to treat large quantities of water. Okay, thus there is a need at this point of the time that we should focus on. First, we should pollute less amount of water. Wherever water is utilized, we should reduce its amount. If possible, we should use less amount of water. And secondly, in case of industries, the industry should bear the responsibilities that if they are using water, they should treat this water before releasing them directly into the rivers. And if they are releasing, that will 100% pollute the rivers. As in the beginning, we were talking about the Ganga river and the Yamuna river. Okay, so we should stop polluting the water. We should, each one of us should bear the responsibility on our shoulders, and because water is a primary resource. Everyone needs water. We cannot imagine life without water. So water is one of the basic necessities. So we should stop polluting it, and we should use it minimum. Okay, the minimum use should be there, and we should understand the importance of pure water. Now, dear students, first of all, today's homework, you will make notes of this topic and you will read the page numbers 182 to 184. And if there is any doubt, you will communicate your doubts, your queries on my personal number. Right, everyone? So that's all for today. Bye, everyone.